Alright guys, welcome back. We are doing some more Southeast Zone looting. I did just make a purchase though. I just purchased a hyper coil. So I've been wondering about this gun. I've heard it's actually very good. So we will test it out here at some point. But while we're doing the looting, one thing I want to go over is the XR2 Magstorm. So I want to go over this gun, kind of what it does, and I'll probably make this video specifically pointed towards this gun. So the XR2 Magstorm, it is a rifle, very high accuracy. It always critical hits, so you don't have to worry about your crit. It's always going to crit. Must be level 75 to equip. 100% PvE armor penetration, so no matter what enemy you're facing, it will penetrate all of their armor. The shots penetrate walls and objects, so you can literally shoot through walls, and you can, shoot through multiple enemies. Damage is split, so if you are shooting through multiple enemies, it will split the damage up to 5 targets. So this gun, the reason that I think it is such a good gun is because of the damage that it does. So you're going to see when I go in here how much damage it does per hit, and keep that in mind. If I'm losing my looting setup, right? But if you look, I only have 6.5% damage boost. Now I do believe there's an event going on right now when we get, what, 35%? Let's see here. 25% more damage, so I'm going to be doing like 31% damage boost. So I think that's pretty much attainable for almost anybody. So I think that's a good starting ground. But let me just show you why this gun is so badass. Items, weapons. Let's go find the Magstorm. Alright, so here it is. So it's going to do damage per hit 1,000. So no matter where you're looting, Raven Ridge, Northeast Zone, Southeast Zone, Chemical Plant, doesn't matter. Most of the zombies have 1,000 hit or less, or 1,000 health or less. Most of them have 800. So if I can literally put on, I can mimic this looter implant, and that is going to give me, let's see here. Actually, let's do a better example. Okay, so I got negative 20% damage here from Prophecy, and that doubles the stats of this implant. So Mimic will mimic this, but if there's a negative, it'll also double that. So I have negative 60% right here, and I'm still able to one-shot zombies. So obviously you'd have to do the math, check out your damage boost and stuff. But that is amazing. It allows me to one-shot zombies and still get the most of my looting output, right? So I don't think you can really beat that. This gun for me has been a game changer, literally. So I know you guys have seen me. If you've seen my videos, use this constantly. But I want to actually do a review on this gun. So let's go ahead and hit the streets. And we are in the Southeast Zone. Let's see damage boost. So I have 77%. I did forget. I actually have the. Here's what we'll do. I know what I want to do here. Oh, inventory. Let's go ahead and do this just to make it more realistic. Not that one. Where'd that one go? I just had the Prophecy. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, 37% damage boost. I do think that everybody can get close to that. So I have a 37% damage boost. Now I do use rifles a lot, So you're going to see down here I have 10% rifle damage boost, but that's just from using rifles. Anybody can get that. That's just from the mastery. So I'm running in a 37% damage boost, but I do have that. But that's just unlocked due to me using rifles. So anyway, let's go see what this bad boy can do.
What if buying a new appliance felt like a win for your home and your wallet?
And if you look down here, it has 2 rounds, right? Or if I hit my alt fire, it still shoots 2 rounds, but it doesn't split the damage. So instead of going through, 5 zombies and splitting the damage, it will just hit the first zombie and do all the damage to that one zombie. Which it doesn't make much sense, but it actually helps when you're looting. So like if I want to one-shot things, look at that, 1400 damage. That's why this gun is so good. And I typically play with, depending on where I'm at, if I can 2-shot, then I usually leave the alt off. That way I can shoot multiple zombies at once. Wooden planks, I'll take those. But I've tried a lot of guns. Now see that? I did 700 damage there. It was because it split it. I shot 2 zombies, so it did 777 to each zombie. Again, if I want to stop doing that, I can hit Q, and the next zombie will take all the damage. And none of these zombies have... You're not going to find a zombie unless it's like a larger, like a bear or something that has over 1,000 health. And then some of the mechanics, so let me show you when we get down here. And we'll take that. Nice, Mastercraft. Now, I do have a lot of dexterity. I think I have like 77. So my attack speed's going to be a little faster. Actually, what is my attack speed? 5% dexterity boost. Does it not show it on here? I don't know if it shows it on here. I don't see it. But I do have some attack speed boost. I don't know exactly the percent. 5% maybe. This is my looting build, so not really built for damage and attack speed. And that's why I love this gun, right? I did not have to build for damage. I'm not built for damage at all, actually. Everything I have on my implants is for looting. So the gun is expensive. I believe it's, hell, I think it was over 200 million at one point. But it was expensive for a reason. Like, it is actually worth it. I've had a lot of guns in this game. And I switch back and forth. But I don't see me getting rid of this. I mean, look at this. So I'm in a safe spot. I'm looting. And I'm able to one-shot zombies through these walls. Again, it shoots through walls. So, I mean, it's just awesome. I don't think there is a better looting gun. And when you do bosses, especially bandits. So if you know how bandits work, you want to do damage to them to make sure you get a drop from them. If you're doing bandits, I can put on my if I'm up at Synchronom and I'm boss hunting or anything like that, I will run damage. And the reason I do that, I can get this baby to do over 3,000 damage per hit, which when fighting the bandits, I can one-shot them with my alt fire, and it automatically turns them yellow in one hit. So if I go up and just one-shot each one, I pretty much am good. And again, when you're bossing and things like that, huge help. It's really good for bosses as well. So I don't think there's another looting weapon that can outperform this one. I really don't. I've used bows, I've used impalers, I've used everything trying to loot. So if you guys were curious, I highly, highly recommend this weapon. I would consider it to be an S class. It is S tier. But again, you're gonna pay for that, right? 200 million is not cheap. That's an expensive gun. But I think the gun is expensive, but I think it's worth the value because I think you're going to use it for years. Like, I don't know how they could, unless like more monsters come out and this cannot kill them. I don't know how I would pick something else for, you know, for using a different weapon. I can see myself, you know, naming this gun just because I know I'm going to always have it and I like to do that stuff. I'm not going to name a gun that I don't know if I'm going to use very much, right? So, as you can see, my Wraith Cannon's named. I'm always going to use that. My armor's renamed. I'm always going to use my Vengeance Guard. And I think that this gun will make a solid change and stay there. I think it's going to be my looting gun. I'm still trying to find my second gun. So obviously I have my looting gun. I have my UWC. But I'm still trying to find that mid gun to see, you know, what is that gun I'm missing. So that's why I bought the Hyper Coil. And we'll do a video on that. That's more of a grinding gun, I believe. And I did buy it somewhat for the hordes down here. The UWC is good, and I can kill the hordes down here. But it can be scary, as you've seen in the videos, right? Because it gets crazy. So we'll do a review on the Hyper Coil. And again, right now, I'm not set up for damage at all. So I'm not sure. I've never even used it before. I literally just got it. Let me just see what this thing does. Try alt fire. Does it have an alt fire? No. And I've heard that this gun does phenomenal when you stack damage boosts. I need to get a horde together. But anyway, we'll throw some damage on and do this in the area it's meant for. So here eventually we will do some grinding and try out the Hyper Coil. And then right there, it didn't look very good, right? But again, that's not what it's meant for. So anyway, we'll do a whole new video on that. But as far as the XR2 Magstorm, I think it's exactly what I wanted. So anyway, that's all I got for that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my loot run and enjoy my gun. So until next time, guys, this is an XR2 Magstorm review in the Southeast Zone, and I've used it all over, and I would say it's S tier and definitely get one. All right, guys, peace.